Felix Brito Velasquez has been passionate about photography for as long as he can remember. The camera is at the intersection of his lifelong interest in art, technology, and our environment. It is, for him, the perfect instrument for telling a story. The story of how we interact with the land and the animals that dwell within is a subject he has been intrigued with all his life. With the emergence of new technologies like the iPhone, sharing a story can now be realized in real time via social media. Felix finds excitement in implementing his photography skills with these resources. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Michael Kazi, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you're about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give them a chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have created, and gives you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a person who is a film and TV production student at NCC who has inherited passion for the arts and found the best way to express through photography. He studied it independently and now enjoys cataloging his life experiences through film. We would like you to meet our guest today, Felix Brito.
Thank you.
So, I know you have a passion for photography and have been doing it for a long time. Tell me about it.
Well, I believe that everything started when I was a kid, and it really was a present for Christmas. This one of those little film cameras. But I was kind of mad because I could only take like 20 or 24 pictures, if you remember the films. And then it was really exciting because I took it for a pharmacy, and then I got the actual pictures that I took. But then after that, I received my first digital camera where I can take hundreds and hundreds of pictures and then download to the computer and start editing them. So once I was in high school, probably 2008, it was like this boom with social media, Facebook or start Instagram, and I saw who all the friends were doing pictures, and I started editing them in some apps that they were not as good as Photoshop and all this stuff. But we can take a look at some of the pictures that I've been taking lately. Some of them are also taken by friends of mine who are bloggers, and I've worked with them. They've taken the pictures of me to post on their blogs. Some others were taken by me myself, like this one I took in Webney Park in Buchanan while I was doing one of the projects for school. I took that one for my cousin on her prom. Me on the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. It was posted on internet by a blogger. She was promoting some of the, I don't remember the brand of the clothes. My cousin and her boyfriend in the park. I actually love doing black and white pictures. I consider it's easier, and you show more emotions than in the color pictures. Well, to the time I feel that I've improved those skills and I've gotten better. I actually got a couple of books for photography. I think for next semester I will take a class as the traditional photography in film. I was in the darkroom for the first time today, and it was pretty cool. I did actually like it. So yeah, I've been very passionate with this, and I can see this is a possible career in the future. Here we have a black and white pictures in New York. So.
Can you tell us why you decided to take the TV production courses?
I never thought about taking any film production classes, TV production classes, but I was with an advisor last semester. She told me, I know you love photography and using cameras, why don't you make this picture move? And then I say, well, that's okay, I can do that, I probably will like it, and actually I like this. I took this class and I fell in love with this, and I think it's kind of cool.
What are some of the things you have learned in this course?
I've learned a lot of stuff that I never thought they exist when I was doing photography. They were there, but as a TV production course, you learn more stuff about cameras, about panning, still, different movements of the camera. I also learned stuff about, poor man's dissolve and all this stuff that we don't do in photography.
Can you tell us about the Student Studies Project, Cup of Tea, New England in the Fall, and the Orange Project?
Sure. At the beginning, it was kind of hard to do all these projects because we were in the winter and it was super, super cool outside. But me and my friends, we figured out how to do it. We can take a look at the videos that we did. The first one, I believe, was Cup of Tea. Student Studies was the first non-graded video. I did it at school with my friend Angie. And it was kind of cool because we had music in the background while we were doing the shooting. And she did hers at the same time I did mine. We did it super fast. We really enjoyed the time doing the first project. It wasn't the best one because it was the first time doing a video, but it was super cool. Then I used her as an actor for my second video, and we worked on it for the tea cup, where we have to do clean ins and outs to serve the tea, pour the water. I learned that we have to put the cup or the kettle in the same place again in order to keep the sequence. Then I do my Naturo video. I went to a bunch of places to do this in Weston, Westport, and New Canaan. It was super cool when this project had to be made, so I went until spring, where we finally get to see some colors and move them in the water. I did things like the poor man's dissolve that we can do we can see in here, coming from a yellow flower to another. This will be a shift focus, and then here we have my orange project. The idea of the orange project was about a student who was running super late to do this, and then he realized about all the things he has to do for the project. And then he realized that it was done like in 2 days. And he's still in a hurry and didn't have any idea of what to do with this. So finally, he decides to kill the professor with a poison orange. I hope he accepts that.
Can you tell us about your best project?
I think that my best project was my Naturo video because I enjoyed it so much and I applied a lot of different techniques to do it. We can take a look at this. I did this one in Devil's Park in Weston, those little waterfalls, and then we see the poor man's dissolve coming from one shoot to another. I got lost in the park doing this because I went by myself and I went tonight. It was kind of creepy. There wasn't a Wemini Park in New Canaan. Another poor man's dissolve coming to the yellow flower to the other. That was super nice going with my friends to this one.
You mentioned the variety of things you have learned in this course. What was the most important skill you have learned and how will you put it to good use?
I believe that one of the most important things that I learned is to have everything on time because I'm the kind of person that has everything for the last minute or do everything under pressure. And when you can do that with pictures or homework and everything, but when you do that on TV, if you have a show running at 6 p.m. and then you don't have something to put on Avid or all the other programs, there's nothing you can do. So organizing my times, like keeping all my responsibilities to do everything on time, I think was one of the most important lessons that I got from this class.
Today we got to meet someone who shared his passion for visual arts and has developed his skills in photography as an independent student. He showed us some of the pictures he has taken and the projects he had made in the class. He plans to use the techniques he learned in TV production class to make his pictures move and show everything he likes through his social media. I'd like to thank our guest, Felix, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of the television's future directors, and we hope you'll continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a good day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Michael Causey, directed by Tony Sandoval. I'm your announcer, Andrew Shukovsky. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production. Felix Brito Velasquez has been passionate about photography for as long as he can remember. The camera is at the intersection of his lifelong interests in art, technology, and our environment. It is, for him, the perfect instrument for telling a story. The story of how we interact with the land and the animals that dwell within is a subject he has been intrigued with all his life. With the emergence of new technologies like the iPhone, sharing a story can now be realized in real time via social media. Felix finds excitement in implementing his photography skills with these resources. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Michael Causey, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, and operating cameras and talent acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a person who is a film and TV production student at NUC. He has an inherited passion for the arts and found the best way to express it through photography. He studied it independently and now enjoys cataloging his life experiences through film. We're lucky to meet our guest today, Felix Brito.
Hello, Michael.
So I know you have a passion for photography and have been doing it for a long time. Tell me about it.
I haven't been doing photography, professional photography for a long time, but I've been using cameras since I can remember. I think everything started when I got a little film camera when I was a kid on Christmas, and it was very funny, but also it was very annoying because I could take only 20 or 24 pixels, I can't remember. But it was very exciting then going to the pharmacy and having the pictures self-printed, and it was pretty cool. And since then I started making albums, and I started falling in love taking pictures of my pets and everything I could see. Then I got my first digital camera. It was a compact camera, but it was pretty cool because I could take hundreds and hundreds of pictures and then import it to my computer and try to fix things on them. Then I started buying my own cameras, and we can take a look of some of the pictures that I've been taking in the past probably years or months. I also have worked with a couple of friends that are bloggers, and I've been working in front of the cameras as, I will say, a model, even though I am not. But it's kind of cool. I took that actual black and white picture in Webney Park when I was doing my Naturo project. I've worked with my family, taking picture of their proms. This picture were taken for my friend Elodie, which is a fashion blogger. This is in Central Park. This is Webney Park in Buchanan, using framing techniques to give black and white pictures. I like the black and white because I believe that the edition is way so much easier. You give more emotion to the pictures. You don't lose the tension in the colors and all the background. Here's my cousin in prom. I did those in, as I told you, in Waverly Park, New Canaan. I do really enjoy doing this photography. It's kind of super cool. And you know, one thing leads to the other. Photography was my passion. I started doing the video production classes. I took this here in the studio, working with my friend Angie, and this was in New York City, a couple months or years ago. This was in my house in Venezuela. It was last year. I was traveling for vacation.
Can you tell us why you decided to take the TV production courses?
I actually never decided to take this class. My advisor for this semester, she recommended me. She said, I know you love photography and working with cameras, so why don't you make those pictures move? And I'm sure we'll learn a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure you will love to be on TV and do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I say, okay, cool. And here I am. I have learned a lot of things, I enjoy it, and it's super cool.
What are some of the things you have learned in this course?
I've learned this course a bunch of stuff that I knew about them when I was doing photography, but I never applied on videos. Things such as poor man's dissolve, when you go to one shoot to another, and doing all these transitions using Avid Media Composer are things that I never learned when I was doing photography.
Can you tell us about the Student Studies Project, Cup of Tea, New England Fall, and the Orange Project?
When I was doing those projects, when I started it was in winter, and it was super cool, so it was hard to do it. We can take a look of some of the videos that I did with other classmates. This was my first project. It was the student studies. We did it here in the school, and we really enjoyed doing this because we put music in the classroom. We did it together. At the same time, he did her project. It was the first one. It was super cool. We really enjoyed this. There were a lot of shoots takes to do this one. Then we did the Cup of Tea. We did it in a friend's house in New Canaan. We learned how to do the cuts, the ins and outs more professionally, to do it cleaner, in a clean way, I should say. We use a bunch of bag of tea to do this project, I have to say. But as we keep progressing, every project was getting better. Then I did my Naturo project. We was shooting in between New Canaan, Weston, and Westward. Here we can see a poor man's dissolve. We went to the one waterfall to the other, putting the picture out of focus and then focusing. Here is another poor man's dissolve from the yellow flower to another one. And you know, it was very cool when we do these projects, so it was pretty hard. Here's my orange project. It was about me being a student who didn't know what to do with the orange project, and then he realized there was a lot to do, and I started worrying about it. But it got worse when I realized that everything was due tomorrow. I did this in school. And then the idea is that after he didn't know what to do with the project, he killed the professor with a poison orange.
Can you tell us about your best project?
I would say that my best project was the Naturo project because I have more time to do it, and I did it outdoors. So we can take a look at this. The first one was in a park in Weston, and I start with a poor man's dissolve, going to one waterfall to another one. Every shoot has to be like 5 seconds. And then I did another one. We have 2 poor man's dissolve required for the project. The second one was in Waverly Park in New Canaan. When I put everything out of focus, and then I start with another thing out of focus, and then focus on flowers. Here's a shift focus, with basically the same thing but different. I put the first object in focus, and then I changed to the other one, and that's what gives it this impression. And then we do the continuous zoom, when we start zooming in one object and then transfer to another one that's already zooming, and I start getting closer and closer to do a close-up. This was in Buchanan also.
You mentioned the variety of things you have learned in this course. What was the most important skill you have learned and how you put it to good use?
I will say that one of the most important things that I learned in this course was having everything on time, because I'm the kind of person that do everything at the last moment or the last minute or right before coming to the classroom. And when you do that in a TV production class, it's very hard because it goes on TV, and if you're working in a real production who goes at 6 p.m. and you don't have your material to put on air, you will run out of everything. But besides of that, I will say that I will learn a lot of things about camera. We use things, we learn a lot about composition. We did the 6 lines of good composition where we applied rule of thirds, the lines of grace, lines of emotion. We did the index pointing, a bunch of different stuff that I never thought about when I was in photography, and then I'm glad to learn in here.
Today we got to meet someone who shared his passion for visual arts and has developed his skills in photography as an independent student. He showed us some of the pictures he has taken and the projects that he had made in the class. He plans to use the techniques he learned in the TV production class to make his pictures move and show everything he likes through his social media. I would like to thank our guest, Felix, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Michael.
We hope you enjoyed meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a good day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Michael Causey, directed by Tony Sandoval. I'm your announcer, Andrew Shukovsky. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.
My show. No, not tonight, but Wednesday.